I feel like I might have had a sign. How's it going? I hope I find you well and healthy. If you don't know who I am, I'm Tom Stockdale. I freestyled for KSI a couple years ago, blew up, went crazy, did a bunch of mad shit, the views dropped, life got better, here we are now. Nice to meet you, mate. Hope you're having a good day. So I've got a few things that I want to share with you and go through with you today, as the title would suggest. One of them is pretty big. First thing, I'm bald now. Now, the reason that I'm bald is because I shaved my head for a charity stream. We made like over $1,000 in like about an hour, which was fucking incredible. A little update on that: they've made all the money they need now. The private search has started. Well done, you're good human beings. Everybody that shared and donated, big up you guys. We did something nice here, right? Fantastic. So I'm gonna keep the bald head. There will be, I've put a tweet out and people are gonna roast me about my bald head. I'll make that video soon. I'm just waiting on something to arrive. Second thing, I've been learning piano. The other thing, you're gonna have to bear with me, all right? Because I understand that what I'm going to tell you, there's no way to say it and not sound like a crazy person. Basically, I think God might be real. Now, I'm aware that makes me sound like an absolute nutter, unless you're religious, in which case, you're like, finally, he's figured it out. But it's just, it's hard for me, because like, I've always guessed atheist for a bit, and then when I was being less arrogant, I was agnostic, because I don't know, and I still don't know, but a strange series of events happened to me. I'm going to try and explain it and not sound like a lunatic, alright? But please bear with me, alright? These things are hard to articulate. So basically, it started a couple years ago, where I just had this feeling, a curiosity, a question, whatever you want to call it, I don't know. I had something drawing me towards looking into Islam, right? And I don't know what it was, but there's loads of things that I want to give attention to, but it just gets added to the pile of, yeah, maybe one day, right? So yeah, as I was saying, call to Islam. I don't know why, just start looking into it. All right, cool. So I did. Like last week, or I don't know when it was, a few days ago, I feel like I might have had a sign. And oh my god, what is happening with this brightness? That was horrible. Right, yeah, so I feel like I might have like had a sign or something. Because what happened was I finally decided, right, today's the day. I'm going to start listening to the Quran while I was tidying up, right? Because I normally listen to podcasts, Jack Mate's Happy Hour, shout out. I normally listen to that, but I thought, fuck it, I'll put the Quran on, right? So I put it on. I was pottering around, tidying up, about 45 minutes in. I'm listening to it and I'm thinking, like, I kind of want to believe this, but I don't. Like, I would trust a God, but I don't trust people. People are shit, right? They manipulate all the time. They take everything. So I was thinking, like, for me to take this seriously, I'd have to have like some kind of like sign myself. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think I'm special. I don't think God should part the clouds and be like, "Oi, Tom, dickhead, I'm real." But I thought something more obvious than this. And as I was thinking that, I got a phone call, right? And where the phone number would be was Arabic, which has never happened before. I've Googled it. I don't know why it happened. I was listening to the Quran on YouTube too, so it's not like I downloaded anything and had to put my number in. So I thought, that's fucking strange. And I answered. And it was just silent for 15 seconds. I'll put the screenshots up there next to my face here. So I answered the call. It was silent for 15 seconds and then it went dead. And then I checked my call history and there was a number there now. So I was like, well, I'm fucking calling that back. What the fuck was that all about? I called it back. Not a connected number. It doesn't work. The number doesn't exist. I Googled it. I'm not even going to blur the number out. It's there, right? You can try it yourself. I tried to call it. It says it's a disconnected number. So I was like, okay, that's pretty fucking strange, right? Just the timing of that. I thought that's a bit weird, but I thought like, yeah, whatever in it. Didn't really think that much of it. And then later in the day when my girlfriend Kate got home, I was telling her about it, and I showed her the call, and I was like, I know what I'm going to say to you makes me sound like a crazy person, or like I'm lying, but like I can show you the call, like this is what happened. And then as we were talking about it, I noticed the time it happened, which was 2:10, right, which is 14:10. And I don't know the structure of the Quran. I don't know if it's the same as the Bible, so I just put in 14:10 Quran, and then this came up, right? And like, I'm not going to read it word for word, but you can read it, and it seems pretty relevant to the thought I was having, right? It's about like asking for proof and it being there and being invited into it and being drawn to it, which kind of goes with everything else that I've already said. So I thought, now that's fucking strange, right? Like, a coincidence, maybe, but what's a coincidence, right? I thought that's... A coincidence is a remarkable a string of events that aren't connected but seem to be, or something like that. So I thought that's strange. And then I went out in the garden to have a cigarette, and I looked up, and it was also a crescent moon. So I thought, this is a really weird combination of things. And then I tried to get in touch with an imam, which is like bear in mind, if I offend anyone here, I'm a fucking idiot, okay? I'm looking into it myself. I don't mean to. I'm just speaking openly so I don't... If I waste time mincing words, I might not be able to get my actual message across as directly as I would like to. So yeah, as far as I know, an imam is like a Muslim priest. It's like the head, the guy that leads the prayer and shit. So they give a religious advice and life advice and all this stuff. So I was trying to get in contact with a local one. It didn't work. They're all closed because of the coronavirus. So I was like, okay. And then just to try and talk to somebody about it, I ended up going on Omegle and putting in Muslim and Islam as my interest. And then I was speaking to this girl, and I told her what happened and said, like, I know I sound like a crazy person. And then I said I couldn't get hold of anyone, and I guess she thought I was kind of chatting shit or something. So she tried a few places and it didn't work either. And then she gave my number to a few imams that she knows. And then one of them called me back. He's in Manchester. He's called Mo. I'm going to meet him soon and speak to him. Very open to me asking questions. He said, write a list. Everything that comes into your mind, there is no wrong questions, all right? So write a list. And when you're ready, you can come up and you can talk to us. And if it seems the right fit and God wills it, then when it comes to doing I think it's called Shahada or something, then they will help me with that. So I was like, okay, I'm just asking questions like, this is fucking crazy. And he said that he thinks it might be a sign or something, and I understand that. Obviously they're invested and they're religious and stuff, but that's a pretty wacky string of events, if you ask me. And I've always been able to kind of dismiss it as nonsense, but then after this, it seems a bit more than just nonsense. Now, I'm not saying I know what God is, right? Like, which is kind of what I'm stuck on. I don't necessarily think a monolithic God is real, and like how this religion's right and wrong and blah blah. I've learned a lot more about Islam, which is a net good thing, right? Like my perception of it from the media and stuff was obviously warped. There's a lot in there about charity, compassion, forgiving, helping orphans, and not a lot about shouting something and running into a building. I don't need to go into much more detail there. And in terms of fighting, it's only okay in like self-defense and stuff. Irrelevant, right? I'm still reading the Quran. I have an audiobook. I'm a few hours into it now, but it's good. But yeah, either way, that's going to be something good to learn about, right? So, like, when I say God, I don't necessarily mean like Yahweh or Allah or whoever or Jesus or the Holy Spirit, like some monolithic, sentient, anthropomorphized being up there pulling the strings and setting it all out in motion. But like there is something, right? I feel like there is a something, which it's where like inspiration comes from, and it's where like it's a horrible word to use for it because it feels like such a bastardized, horrible word. But there's a vibe, right? It's like an atmosphere. There's some kind of, we're all connected. Basically, consciousness, whatever the fuck that is, we're all connected. Now, I know some of you are probably watching this and thinking, Tom, you did some mad drugs. Fucking relax. But I can promise you, I was on no drugs at the time of this happening. I wish I was, because then at least I could write it off, right? At least then I could say, yeah, it was just DMT. I saw a DMT elf and some mad shit happened. But unfortunately, that's not the case. And I'm aware that I'm randomly walking about a lot, but like I feel uncomfortable talking about this, so I feel more comfortable kind of doing this. Please have an open mind. I know I sound crazy, but I feel like we're all connected somehow, and we're connected to something. And it's like the place my songs come from, right? So every time I write a song, I literally hear the song in my head, I hear the words, but when I first hear it, it sounds like you're hearing it like with like all the high end taken out. So it's like you're listening to something that your next door neighbor is playing, or like kind of like when you're outside of a club and you can like kind of hear it, but you can't make it out. And then the more I work on the song, the more the lyrics become clear, and then I copy it from this thing I've heard, and then that's my song, right? So the songs I write come from somewhere, and whatever that is. Like, I don't know when people say like, oh, just out of the blue, I had an idea out of the blue. The blue is what I'm talking about, right? There's like, so I don't really like to use the term God, because that obviously that ties it into religions and other people, and like, I don't want to clash any ideas. I'm not saying anyone's wrong and right. I'm saying that my mind is open properly for the first time in my life, and it's terrifying humor in the fact that we might not just be here on a random rock spinning through infinity for no reason, and there definitely is things we don't understand and can't comprehend, and it felt good to just kind of dismiss it. Like, it's not a good answer, but it's an answer, right? And then like there was a quote I heard, which was, a religion is for people that want no questions and all the answers, and being an atheist is for people that want or have all of the questions and none of the answers, or something like that. I butchered that quote, I'm a fucking idiot. But yeah, for the first time ever, I feel like there is something else, and it's liberating, it's terrifying, it's all of these things combined into one. And I'm going to continue reading the Quran. I read the Bible when I was younger for something like kind of similar. I didn't know that like the Quran was basically like the third film in a trilogy. So that there was the Torah, the Gospel, and then the Quran. They're all Abrahamic, so it's all based off the same people. So like Jesus is in the Quran, for example, and so is Moses and David and everybody else. And why aren't I'm going to answer my own question, but I was thinking, why aren't... That just rudely cut me off because my memory card was full. But yeah, anyway, as I was saying, I was thinking, like, why aren't these things turned into movies? And then the Quran specifically says to not make an image of the prophet. Yeah, now I understand. Anyway, I'm fucking waffling. But yeah, isn't that crazy? I'd love to know what you guys kind of feel about it, like spirituality, God, like... maybe it could just be my fragile human brain trying to make sense of this terrifying existence, because I depersonalize quite a lot, so like I feel like I'm not real. I feel like I'm in a movie that I didn't sign up for, and it's like I'm not sure if free will is real, which that's a whole other video and a whole other long ass conversation. But I just thought, like, this is fucking crazy, man, like proper crazy. And call it what you will, mate, but like, even if you guys, I remember, if you're real OGs and you stuck around after the shout out and stuff, like, when I was on the call with JJ then, and I didn't know what I was going to do, I was just going to ask some random questions, that car went past and lit up my guitar strings. Coincidence or a sign? Because if that didn't happen, because I'm going to be totally honest with you boys, when that call happened, I was acquainted with our friend Mary Jane, is the best way I could put it, right? I was high as fuck, like so I wasn't really thinking properly, so I was thinking of really shitty questions, and I was like, oh, I don't know what to do. And then when that happened, I was like, oh yeah, like, I'll do my thing. Like, it genuinely would not have occurred to me if that car hadn't gone past. And then everything that come from that, like, I know from the outside looking in, it might seem like it's all gone now, but like, I needed to get out of the hole that I was in, and everything that happened got me out of the hole that I was in. So like, it was that break that I needed, and I made a bunch of cool friends from it. I did a bunch of cool things. Like, I never set out on YouTube to be famous or rich or all of these things, and I had this experience. I got to dip my toes, met all these cool people, did all these cool things, made new friends, which was fantastic, made like enough money to get me out of the hole, and now I have everything I want and need, which is fantastic, right? Like, I'm not a materialistic person, I'm not a greedy person, I only like want what I need, really. And then after I've got everything that I need, of course I've got some wants, but like, I grew up poor, man. I don't fucking care. Like, none of that shit matters to me. Like, unless it's gifted to me, you'll never see me wearing branded shit. Like, and that's, well, like, unless I find it in a charity shop. So like, I'm I'm fucking happy, right? And I'm going to continue doing what my channel was for, which is this. It's a diary. It's a vent. It's where I get to open up and be raw and honest, and it's always going to be the same. So I feel like I'm on a bit of a spiritual journey right now. Like I've just been aware. I've just been made aware of something. Like, it's like I've been in a room with no windows or doors my whole life, and someone's just told me that one of these pads is actually a secret door. And now I'm like, fucking, is it? Whoa. Like, my head's kind of blown. And in terms of what I was saying about, like, there's a feeling when everybody is together, right? There's a connection and there's a vibe. You could argue that it's because we're social creatures, right? So, like, being around other people, our brain gives us chemicals, makes it feel good, reinforces it to make sure that we do it more. But to me, that's like, if I ask you how the light works, you say by flicking the switch, right? Like, it like that is why it's happening, right? So you flick the switch and the light comes on, but that's not how the light works, right? I flick that, and then behind the wall, all these cables do all their business, and electric fucking goes through, and it goes in, boom, then we have light. Right, okay, where did that electric come from? It's come from a power plant somewhere, or some wind farms, or like, it doesn't feel like a complete enough answer to me. Which, yeah, I just thought it was fucking interesting, and I'd like to share it, and I'd like to hear what you guys think of it. And I'm right now, I've got a free house. Look, watch. Willis! I cheated on you. Kids, I found you in a goblin patch. See, I got a free housemate for like the first time in a fucking year. It's amazing. Amazing. So I'm going to be able to do this more because I've got time to think and nobody's barking at my attention, right? Like I'm glad the kids are back at school, boys, honestly. So yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts about this. I'll play you a bit more piano or something. I was playing something nice the other day, so I'll play us out with that. Enjoy the rest of your day. Cheers for chilling with me, and I'll update you as this journey progresses and continues. Cheers for watching. Let's go. You ready, boys? Cheers for watching.